What's up YouTube? Today I'm going to teach you how to tune a traditional tattoo machine, and this one's going to be on a shader. If you're new to this channel, I'm Brandon from Tattooing 101, and make sure you like and subscribe down below if this is helping you along your journey of becoming a professional tattoo artist. Like I said in the liner video, I haven't tuned a machine in 7 years besides the liner I just tuned. But once you get the hang of it, no matter how long it takes, you'll always be able to tune your machine. So make sure you take your notes so you can know everything you need to know to tune your machine correctly and have it running awesome. Let's get into it. What's up? So let's break down how to tune a shading machine for tattooing. So if you haven't checked out how to set up a liner, I definitely recommend you check that one out first, because obviously you're going to be doing lining first, and set up your machine for a liner. Another thing I want to touch base on, if you are getting into tattooing, you want to have two machines, one for lining, one for shading. Don't try to tune your machine halfway in the middle of a tattoo for shading and having to do that every time. It's just not going to work out for you. Definitely get two machines, or if you only want to use one machine, go with a rotary. It's going to save you a ton of headache. And one more thing, I did do a review on this machine, and it's not the best quality. I wouldn't recommend getting one of these machines. I'm just going to show you, for the sake of this video, how to set it up. But when it goes to like trying to tune this machine in depth with like your duty hertz or things like that, you'll never be able to kind of change anything around. It's just going to loosen up and not work out for you. But this is the only shading machine that I have, because I don't use coil machines anymore. But very quickly, I know we touched base on this in the lining video, but the parts on this machine, obviously your coils, these could be 8 wrap, 10 wrap, 12 wrap, your contact screw, your front spring right here, your amateur bar right here, clamp, you know, everything else is pretty common. Your capacitor will be right there. All the things you need to know if you are a machine builder, but if you're just tuning it, you really don't need to know anything besides your contact screw right here, super important, and your amateur bar, super important as well. And then you'll have another spring right down here, which is your back spring. So we'll loosen this up. As you can see, this is plastic. It's not going to benefit you having a plastic one right here, because if your contact screw gets loose, this is what's going to happen from it shaking. I'll show you right here. I'll turn this on real quick. You see how it's just... As you can see, it just spun out completely. So if this breaks, and it just stopped working. So if this isn't on 100%, that's going to happen. And how long did that take? A couple seconds for it to just stop working and have a headache for you. So you want to make sure that any machine you're getting has good parts, because obviously this plastic little screw will work for, you know, maybe a couple tattoos, and then it's going to wear down, strip out, and not be able to hold that, which will render your machine absolutely useless. So other than that, whenever you're using a shading machine, you want to make sure that it's set up for it to be about a nickel's length. So from here to here is about a nickel. Using currency is probably the easiest. If you're from another country, I'll show you exactly how far that's going to be right there. So the liner is always going to be a shorter distance from your actual amateur bar or your spring to your contact screw right here. So that's about the distance. I'm going to tighten this up and turn it on right there. So you can see that it's definitely running. It's running a little hard right now. Another big thing when it comes to these cheaper machines is going to be they heat up a ton. I've actually seen one of these machines melt the covers on the coils from it getting so hot. It's normal for a machine, if you're using it all day, to get a little bit warm. Traditional artists, you know, you'll have burns on your hand right here from holding your machine, and it getting hot, and it'll burn you. So all those things are normal, but it shouldn't get that hot. That's a problem. So from there, you have everything set up with everything tightened down so it's not going to move on you. The distance is right. Now we're going to start our machine on about a 3. And you can tell that it's super quiet. Now we're going to turn it up until it actually starts to hit correctly. So it actually started up at about a 3. which is fine. You know, different machines will run on different volts and everything, and obviously it's going to bog down a little bit when it comes to putting on an actual shading needle. I definitely recommend that you try these out with traditional shading needles. I don't have any. I don't use these type of machines. I have a lining needle on my other traditional machine because I do lining with them from time to time, but shading I always use a rotary. But with that, you want to make sure it's running correctly. And right about like that. Obviously a shading machine's going to hit way softer than an actual lining machine, which works great for black and gray, things like that. But that's personal preference. I personally like rotaries, but if you do like traditional machines, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's why I'm making these videos for you to break down exactly how to set them up. And you do need to do this with every single tattoo. Anytime you tattoo, some of these things could get loose, move around. It's like an old Harley or an old motorcycle. Obviously stuff likes to move on you, and you always have to tighten things down. So think of it like that. Make sure you check it before every tattoo and you'll be good to go. Like I said in the other video, I'm going to break down what the hertz, duty, cycles per second, all of those things mean, which it'll probably not help out a ton of you. It's more set up for, you know, if you're wanting to mess around changing coils, things like that, how to set up your tattoo machines. But I'll definitely touch base on that for the few of you that want to be machine builders or, you know, want more knowledge on tattooing, because there's very few people that actually care about that stuff anymore. But other than that, I hope this video was able to help you guys out that are still using coil tattoo machines. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching.